Thanks, Tori. Today I'll be evaluating Stephanie. And I love evaluating. I'm thrilled to be able to have this opportunity. What I'm going to be doing is telling you what she did well and why I think it worked so well, identifying a couple areas for improvement, and finally making specific suggestions on how Stephanie can make those improvements going into her next speech. So first, your voice is great. Everything about it, the tone, the rate, the volume, all very effective. And this is a really cool thing because a lot of new speakers, the biggest issue they have is it's easy to fall into having unnatural tonality, especially when a speech is really scripted. And you just avoided that right there, so that's really cool. A line stuck out to me, I want to read it. 8 football fields 100 feet deep. That's cool. One of the challenges when dealing with a speech that is very factual is making it accessible and helping us as an audience keep perspective on that. And analogies like that, like the football field one, are super effective in helping people grasp the scale of what you're discussing. I liked your intro. You said, when I mention irrigation, I want you to think of a 4-letter word. I know a few 4-letter words. And I think that was cool because it built intrigue in the audience. We're like, what 4-letter word might that be? So we're kind of primed to want to know. And then at the end, you told us, boom, salt. But you didn't exactly tell us. You had us tell you. You're like, what's the word? And we're like, boom, salt. So that was cool. A great way of kind of driving home that point. Like, if we were to only remember one thing, we should remember that. Very effective. First area for improvement I'd like to share with you is I think you could benefit from focusing a little bit on eye contact. I noticed there were a couple times when you looked out the window. And that may be just trying to think or kind of collect where you are. I would recommend never doing that. Because every time you look out the window, we as an audience, we're like, aw. You know? Like, stay with us. A way to do that, a technique for doing that, is to be mindful to try to give each person either a sentence or a phrase. So if I'm speaking, I might give Rachel a phrase, I might give Ken a phrase. That sort of thing. Second thing I want to share with you is, and again, because it's so challenging to convey a speech that is so factual, like if you were an expert addressing an audience who was there to hear you, you could just give them facts and they'd be ready for it. But in like a lay audience like Toastmasters, people come in not knowing what to expect and you have to kind of make them care first. So what I recommend for that is tell a story, make a point. So do you have a story of when you met a farmer who really suffered from over-salted earth? I mean, that might be the sort of detail, the sort of emotional content that would draw us in as an audience and make us want to know why this is happening and what we can do about it. So that's a piece of advice for you. And one more thing. I noticed, and this wasn't a huge problem, just kind of nitpicky, I noticed you were hand clasping a lot during the speech. This can be a way that people try to stay grounded and anchored during the speech. Technique for that, I learned this from a really advanced speaker. He says, clasp your middle finger to your thumb like this, because that will provide that same sense of grounding and the audience can't tell, so you look like you're super relaxed. All in all, I love your speech. You have a very natural style, and I think that's something that it can take a lot of people a long time to learn, and you've got it right out the gate. So I look forward to evaluating you more. Madam General Evaluator.